Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. Well, this morning the SGX Nifty is indicating a big bump up opening, but there are plenty of stocks in focus. So let's get straight down to that. Our research team is standing by to give us a list of top 10 stocks. Anuj, let me begin with you. What are you looking at?
As I said, today is the day to watch the financial Nifty, Nifty Financial Services, weekly options expiry. My sense is you see massive short covering here, and the stocks that could lead it are HDFC and HDFC Bank, the ones which have the biggest weight in the index, and so that's something that I'll keep an eye on. Simple technical reason, nothing else, nothing more, just because there's this weekly expiry, and because there are shorts in the system, and you would see short covering. But let's go across to Abhishek then. He also has actually some financials that he's watching out for, but because of the business updates. Abhishek, hi.
Good morning, Anuj. To begin with, IndusInd Bank, they have gained market share in the loan book. Quarter-on-quarter deposit growth is the best in last 5 quarters, and loan growth is the best in last 4 quarters. Loan book market share is up 5 basis point YOY and about 7 basis point on a sequential basis. Deposits are up at 14.65% YOY and about 4.2% quarter-on-quarter. Loan growth is pretty robust, coming in at close to 17.6% YOY and about 4.7% quarter-on-quarter, which means that their credit to deposit ratio has improved. On the flip side, they have lost out on low cost deposits, as it is down to 42.4% of the deposits when compared to 43.2% in the previous quarter. M&M Fin, over there, the asset quality has surprised positively. Gross NPA ratio is down to 7% when compared to 8% in the previous quarter. Disbursements are up more than 9% month on month. So for the month of September, disbursements were close to 4100 crores. Collection efficiency has also improved in September to 98% when compared to 96% in August and 96% in June. HDFC Limited, the loans assigned are up 28% YOY but down 4% sequentially. Dividend income is strong over there. Individual loans sold, that is loans sold to HDFC Bank, that's at a growth of 27% YOY and 6.2% sequentially. Sale of investment remains nil when compared to nil on a YOY basis. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. So we'll watch out for these stocks. M&M Finance, improvement in asset quality, and HDFC Limited seeing a 28% growth in loans assigned. But Nigel is here with us to tell us why we should watch Hindustan Zinc and Vedanta this morning. Nigel, over to you.
Well, both of them came out with their operational update, and that's why we're expecting both the stocks to open up in the green. Now, let's start off with the biggest part of the business. That's the aluminum business for Vedanta. Production numbers up close to around 2%, and Jharsuguda, which is bulk of that aluminum business, that in fact was up by close to around 5%. Moving to the zinc in India business, that's Hindustan Zinc. Out there as well, numbers look good. The integrated saleable metal, that's both refined zinc as well as refined lead put it together, that was up by close to around 18%. And even saleable silver, that was up by close to around 28% or thereabouts. So thumbs up out there, that's for Hindustan Zinc. For Vedanta, the total power sales as well did come up by close to around 24%. That's the TSPL, which is bulk of their power sales. That as well did jump up by a good 59%. It's international zinc operations, well, that's been seeing some traction, and it's good to see that the Gamesberg project out there, well, that's seeing a good ramp up, and that is reflected in the higher production number. Oil and gas has been a bit of a struggle, and that continues to be the case. That's the operational update, but the reason I expect the stocks to fire up is because the dollar has weakened, and also you have the US bond yields, which have cooled off. Always we see that the metal stocks, they react positively, so both of them open up well in the green.
All right, Nigel, thanks very much for that. Now, Avenue Supermarts and Marico are in focus. Mangalam is here to tell us why. Mangalam, hi, morning.
Well, before the quarterly results, we also get the quarterly updates, and this one comes in from Avenue Supermarts. It's a good quarter that the company has reported, the highest ever quarterly revenue. Year on year, there's a revenue growth of almost 35.7%. Quarter on quarter as well, there's a growth of almost 6% and importantly, the company added 8 stores in the second quarter. For Avenue Supermarts, the company now has around 302 stores, but importantly, 108 stores or 118 stores rather were added just in the last 3 COVID years, which will now begin to see normalized growth. So that provides some headroom for growth going forward. And that is something that we've seen over the last few second quarters as well. And this time, for the first time around, on a standalone basis, the company's quarterly revenue has crossed that 10,000 crore mark. Valuations-wise, it's never been cheap, but now it's about 25% away from its 52-week high. So see some green on that stock. However, can't say the same for Marico because the India business posted low single-digit volume growth. The consolidated revenue in the quarter grew in low single digits on a year-on-year basis as well. And gross margins compressed sequentially because the company had to pass on all the price cuts, but they were sitting on high inventory, as a result of which the EBITDA margins will stay flat year-on-year. They spent a little more on advertising, and the net profit will decline year-on-year, primarily because of higher tax rate. So see some red on Marico because all the recovery hopes in FMCG stocks are pinned for the second half. We're still in the second quarter.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, let's talk about MGL and why it's been in focus. Sonal is here to give us more. Sonal, over to you.
Good morning, Sonia. Well, finally, there is some price hike. The government increased the gas prices by 40%, and MGL has gone ahead and increased both CNG and PNG prices in Mumbai. CNG prices have been hiked by 6 rupees per kg, and now they cost 86 rupees per kg. PNG, that is the retail connection, is up 4 rupees, that too 52.5 rupees per SCM. Now, MGL needed to hike their prices by 9 rupees per kg in the CNG segment post the domestic price hike. Now, company says that there are a couple of reasons why they've hiked prices. One, of course, the 40% hike in domestic prices. The allocation from the government, according to the company, has also reduced, which has led the company to import or source gas at a higher price at current prices, and that has led to their cost of sourcing increasing by around 10 to 20%. Now, these price hikes, while good for the margins, could impact demand and ultimately volumes. So we'll see which way things go for the stock as far as the move today is concerned. Additionally, discount of CNG to petrol and diesel is at a multi-year low. So definitely there's a possibility of volumes being hit by that. But margins, of course, could be cushioned with this move.
Okay, Sonal, thanks a lot for that. Sonia, Prashant, imagine last year changing your car from diesel to CNG. Now go through the standing on the line and realizing that you're only saving, 6 or 7 rupees.
But imagine those people who change their car from diesel to electric vehicles and then realizing that there's not enough infrastructure. There are power cuts across the board, right?
Yeah, so anyway, I mean, things are tough in the energy space. It's all because of the global play. But let's go across to Abhishek once again. He's watching out for a couple of more business updates. Abhishek?
Well, Anuj, to begin with, Bank of Maharashtra, it surprised positively in terms of the jump that you are seeing in credit to deposit ratio. Credit to deposit ratio is up around 400 basis point quarter on quarter and about 12.2% on a YOY basis to 75.7%. That is because the loan growth is robust. The loan growth has come in at 28.65% YOY and about 5.5% sequentially. Deposit growth largely flat on a sequential basis. The CASA ratio, that's heartening to see, one of the best in the industry, coming in at 56.3% when compared to 53.9% on a YOY basis. And coming on to Angel One, their business update for the month of September has been pretty good. The total client base is up 3.4% month on month and about 77.4% on a YOY basis. The number of orders, that's increased by almost 25% on a month on month basis and about 66% on a YOY basis. Market share in F&O segment has remained constant, while in commodities they have gained market share by 170 basis points. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot for that. So those are plenty of stocks to watch as we head into a brand new day of trade. In case you missed out on any of them, here's a quick recap. Stocks with positive news flow: there's HDFC, IndusInd Bank, M&M Finance, Hindustan Zinc, Vedanta, Avenue Supermarts, Mahanagar Gas, Bank of Maharashtra and Angel One, while the stock with negative news flow is Marico because of the slower growth in the India business that they saw this time around. But let's find out what's happening in the world of commodities. Crude has inched up again. Manisha Gupta is joining in with a roundup of all the action that we've had there overnight. Manisha, good morning.
Morning, Sonia. And some, overnight session it has been for commodities. As you said, the crude oil prices jumped 5% overnight. And this is ahead of the OPEC and Allies meeting, which is slated in Vienna in person tomorrow. And the markets are anticipating a 1 million barrels per day of an output cut. If that happens, then you could be looking at the crude oil prices jumping some more. In the last 8 or 10 trading sessions, we've seen crude prices gain up by $8. And the markets do believe that if this cut actually comes in, you are looking at another $5 to $7 of a gain from here on. But not just crude. After UN calling on central banks to halt aggressive rate hikes, once that started moving into the markets, and the fact that the U.S. manufacturing activity expanded the least in the last 2 years, did wonders for the confidence for precious metal prices. Silver gained up by 8% overnight. Platinum was up 5%. Gold gained up by 2% as well. So another sector that has done amazingly well has been precious metals overnight.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Manisha. So precious metals seeing a rebound once again. We'll take a quick commercial break. On the other side, we'll connect with Dipan Mehta of Elixir Equities for some fundamental stock analysis. We'll also connect with Keki Mistry of HDFC to discuss an outlook on their business. Stay tuned.